Hello friends, so in this video we'll understand about what are OEMs and ODM companies. So those who are first time on this channel, I want to make you know about like we are covering the complete CAE series in this video. So we are making a complete playlist about CAE domain. Like we in previous videos we have explained about our different branches in the we could say different processes in the CAE domain, that are pre-processing, solver, and the post-processing thing. So what are those terms and what are those softwares have been mentioned in my previous videos. So please do check that, and you'll get a better understanding about what are OEMs and what are different departments in the OEMs in the CAE domain. So, so in this video, we'll understand about what are OEMs, what are ODMs, what are product-based companies, what are service-based companies, what are vendor companies, and what are outsourced companies. I know the few people may be understanding or may be aware about of these terminologies, but I think somewhat some freshers are not be aware about of it. It's better understanding and it's worth it, and it's worth knowing this terminology while you're entering into an industry. So yeah, so that is what we are gonna understand in this video. So let's get started. The first, understand what are OEMs are. So yeah, OEMs. So first let's understand what are OEMs are. So OEMs are nothing but company that designs and manufactures its own product. Maybe the product, design, and the brand. Okay, the completely. So it's explains or it expresses very clearly that the company which designs and manufactures its own products, like the complete product cycle, the complete product cycle to its development, like whatever that may be R&D department, that may be the R&D or the designing or the analysis or the manufacturing, the everything is done by the own company. Okay, so those kind of companies are said to be an OEM companies. So why is it necessary to know about of these companies? Because when we start understanding, because when we get passed out of our college, so we'll start applying for the industries, right? We'll start applying for a job. So there are few companies which are OEMs. Like we are not aware about of, okay, these companies what comes under in which category. Few are service based companies, few are ODMs, few are OEMs. So according to that, our career growth will be depending on. Okay, so if you get into a service based companies, your role would be different, your exposure would be different. Okay, your growing opportunity would be different, your pay scale is different. So you have to understand, okay, whatever the company I'm applying or whatever the company I'm joining, what kind of this company is. Okay, so that is what the reason that I want to make you understand about of what are OEMs and ODMs. Okay, so yeah, that is what the OEMs. I think you got an understanding about of the, like, completely the company which does complete product cycle, manufacturing, product, R&D, everything. The is that company is said to be an OEMs. We have nearly 5 to 10 OEMs in complete India. Okay, more maybe, or not 5 to 10, I think 10 to 15 OEMs in company. Like you can name it all the automobile industries, like let's say for example Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, Hyundai. Okay, so all these are OEM companies. Next comes under ODMs. What are ODM companies? ODMs are nothing but it's similar, but it's difference in one point. Like design and manufacturing is done by this ODM, but there is no branding of these companies. You can say like these are OEMs and these are ODMs. Okay, so it's somewhat different. That branding is not done by these companies, but the whatever the R&D, manufacturing, and the product development is done by these companies only. So in that, Bosch India, Motherson, Denso India, Value India. So all these are the companies which are ODM companies, which basically gives whatever the companies, the product they develop, they'll give to the OEMs or the other branch which are partners with the OEM companies. So it's worth it. Like even you get into an ODM company, you get a lot of exposure about manufacturing, you get a lot of exposure of the R&D, like maybe in your designing or analysis or simulation part. Okay, so you get a lot of understanding about of even in the ODM companies also. So parallel to that, you must also understand about of what are service based companies also. So because lot of time it's not just the product based companies, lot of time it also the service based companies. Because when you start initially, you get lot of opportunities in service based companies only, though, because we have lot of services companies comparatively. You can analyze that we have very less OEM companies. I would be very clear. because in India we have very less OEMs, but we have more service based companies. Okay, we have more service based companies basically. So the water service based companies, the service based companies are nothing but they don't, probably they don't have the product development, they are not completely into product development, or they are not having any manufacturing, but they'll have a workforce, okay, or manpower. Let's say for example this company says to OEMs, okay, see man, I'll just give you the 30 engineers or 40 engineers or 50 engineers to work on your projects. Basically they may be in-house, or they will send them to their companies also. Let's say for example, if you are working in an Honda, if you are working in an Ford, so he'll say that okay, see man, this is my car, these are my engineers, 50 engineers, I'll send it to your company, they will be working on your projects. But the pay scale is from this service based company only. Here take an example of HCL. Let's say for example HCL, TCS, or you can say like Saturn, Satyam Ventures, if you are aware about of Satyam Ventures. So even Satyam Ventures, so these are some few, or L&T. So these are some kind of service based companies. So yeah, of course few people will be saying that okay, HCL and TCS, all these are in IT industries. No, even in mechanical or an electronics department also, they provide services to the other companies. So services are services pro, so they will be they will be providing services to the other companies also. So these are the companies, and there are other lot of companies, service based companies. But again, you got an understanding, right? What are service based companies? The service based companies provide services to the OEMs, or ODMs. So basically they are divided into in that format only. So these are product based companies, and there is also, you have to understand this terminology only, services. But few people will understand what are vendor companies. Okay, you can understand about of outsourcing companies. You have to understand this word like outsourcing. Okay, few may be aware about of it, but in the case out, okay, outsourcing, because the what OEMs are doing, they are outsourcing these engineers. Okay, so these are outsourcing companies. So OEMs are outsourcing their from these service based companies. So these for OEMs, these are vendor companies also. So these terminology, basic terminology, so that you understand, get a better understanding while you're applying for an industry. Okay, whatever industry am I applying, is that company is an OEM company, or this company is an ODM company, or a service based company. So okay, so based on that you can take a better decision. You can do a better negotiation when you are doing is salary negotiation with an HR. So I think you got an understanding about of like complete overview of what are OEM, what are ODM, what are service based companies, and this is what the product based companies also. So I think you got an understanding about of these terminologies, which may help you in a future. So yeah, that is what I want to explain you in this video. Hope you are loving this complete series. I know few of the problems with the sound systems. Trust me, I'm working on those sound systems also. So yeah, so we are not gonna stop completely in this here. So like from next two videos we'll start jump directly into the complete software, and we'll understand complete pre-processing solver and the post-processing thing. So these theories are important because we somewhat miss these chances. We'll directly jump into the software. So I think these small things are very important, because in the making the last things, we'll understanding these small things are important at last. So yeah, see you in next video. Take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.